Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. We have lots and lots to get into on this morning's video, but before we do that, if you are watching for the first time today, please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Lots and lots of new people are joining the channel at the moment, which is absolutely amazing. And we are about to hit our next milestone, which is 43,300. So please do subscribe, get yourselves involved, and make sure to drop a like on today's video. On the stream this morning, we are going to be talking about Benjamin Sesko, with Fabrizio Romano providing a massive update, which I think a lot of you are going to like, in relation to the potential signing of Benjamin Sesko. And I want to get your thoughts on this, actually. Is Benjamin Sesko the player that Manchester United should be looking at? Like, who should we be going for in the market this summer? Let me know. We've missed out on Delap. We've missed out on Gyökeres. There's these weird reports going around saying that apparently we're going to sign Gyökeres. I don't believe that for a minute. But yeah, I want to get your thoughts. Get in the comments section. Let me know. Who should we go for? So we're going to talk about Gyökeres. We're going to talk about Mbeumo. Today is the day. Apparently he'll be announced today. And we'll also talk about the goalkeeper. So yeah, lots and lots to get into. But we're going to start off with the big topic, which is Benjamin Sesko. And I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. We're going to run a little poll. So those of you watching live can get involved in this. Should United sign Benjamin Sesko? Apparently he's be around 70 million euros. All right, there you go. Should United sign Benjamin Sesko for 70 million euros? If you're watching this video back on repeat and you're not watching live, obviously you're not going to be able to get involved in the poll. The poll is exclusively reserved for people who watch the video live. So if you are watching the video back, the best way that you can get involved in the conversation is in the comment section. So you can answer the question, should Manchester United sign Benjamin Sesko? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Right, so let's bring you guys the news. So the first person who's come out, which I guess is the most important person in relation to transfer news, is Fabrizio Romano. So Fabrizio Romano is reporting this morning that Christopher Vivell, who is our head of recruitment, knows Benjamin Sesko very well, and that is why the player is being discussed internally. So if anybody doesn't really understand what's going on, Fabrizio came out yesterday saying that apparently Benjamin Sesko was the main name being discussed at Manchester United between Christopher Vivell, Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, etc. That's the player they're talking about. And apparently the reason that they really, really want Benjamin Sesko is because obviously Christopher Vivell, who is our head of recruitment, he's a scout effectively, but his official role is head of recruitment. He was the technical director at Chelsea, and he obviously has a rich history in the Bundesliga. He was at Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg, and he was at Red Bull Leipzig. He was there. He's done all sorts of different things. He was the technical director at Chelsea. He was the technical director at Leipzig. Before that, he was at Hoffenheim. He worked in the Bundesliga for about 10 years. And he's also worked in Austria as well for Red Bull Salzburg. So he's very, very familiar with Benjamin Sesko, and he is a huge, huge fan of Benjamin Sesko as well. So it looks like that's the player that Manchester United are going for. We do kind of have a free pass at him as well now. Obviously, Liverpool have just agreed a deal for Hugo Ekitike. It looks like Isak is staying at Newcastle. Chelsea, I don't know what Chelsea are doing. They've got Liam Delap. They'll probably sign someone before the end of the window, but God knows who. Obviously, Arsenal are getting Gyökeres. We're the only ones who haven't really got the striker yet, and the only people who are really still available is Benjamin Sesko. Jonathan David's gone to Juventus. He's off the table. Obviously, Delap's gone to Chelsea. Gyökeres is going to Galatasaray. Benjamin Sesko is the only real option left. Now, in relation to transfer fee, he's not going to be cheap, as we all know. He's on a big contract at Red Bull Leipzig. It is a bit of a strange situation, though, the Red Bull Leipzig one, because I don't know if you guys remember, but they signed him last summer from Red Bull Salzburg, which is their, obviously, other club that's owned by the same people. And they bought him for 24 million euros. Now, obviously, that sounds a little bit corrupt. There was no way he was worth 24 million euros. That's less than 20 million pounds. He's, I would say, anywhere between 50 and 100 million euros player, right? He is young. He's exactly the type of profile that Manchester United need. 22 years of age. I wouldn't say he's prolific just yet, but I think he's good. If you look at his stats in the Bundesliga, he's played 64 games, and in those 64 games, he's got 27 goals and 7 assists. So he's averaging a goal or an assist every other game that he's played in the Bundesliga. So I mean, that's decent for a 22-year-old. That's good stats. And if you look at him from an international standpoint as well, for the Slovenian national team, he has similar stats where he averages a goal or an assist every other game for Slovenia. So, he is at his age, I would say, a very, very good player, a very, very high quality player, and somebody that Manchester United should be definitely going for. So just to give you a little bit of a roundup, Fabrizio reporting that Manchester United are discussing signing Benjamin Sesko internally. So that will be between the directors of football, the head of recruitment, etc. And the reason for that is because, one, he fits the age profile, 22 years of age. Two, Christopher Vivell, who's our head of recruitment, knows him very well. And three, we need a striker. That's the most obvious one. So, yeah, I think there's definitely some legs to stand in this deal. It's one to keep an eye on over the next kind of weeks and months of the window. And, yeah, let's just hope that... let's just hope that this deal gets done, because we desperately need to bring in a striker. Like, desperately. I think it's, alongside the goalkeeper, I think it's one of the most important positions that we need to fill. There's already some stories coming out. There's already little murmurs. There's an interview that's just appeared with Benjamin Sesko saying, growing up, I watched the Premier League. Manchester United was my favourite team. There you go. So apparently he's a Manchester United fan from a kid. So all the little murmurs are starting to come out. Now, we also have a bit of a news in relation to... Sorry, we have a bit of an update as well from Plettigol, who's obviously Florian Plettenberg, Sky Sports Germany journalist. Very, very reliable around the Bundesliga. I wouldn't say he's reliable otherwise, but he's a tier 1 source in the Bundesliga. And he is reporting this morning that Manchester United's main 2 targets are Benjamin Sesko and, are we ready? Drum roll. Nicholas Jackson. Oh, dear. He says that apparently Nicholas Jackson is valued at 55 to 60 million pounds. Yes, you just heard that right. 55 to 60 million pounds for Nicholas Jackson. And Benjamin Sesko is valued at 60 to 70 million pounds. So they're both valued around the same sort of money, which does confuse me a little bit. But I mean, arguably, if you want to, be reasonable here, they're both around the same age. They both got the same amount of goals and assists roughly last season in their leagues. And if you want to be really, really argumentative here, you could say, well, Nicholas Jackson did it in the Premier League and Benjamin Sesko did it in the Bundesliga. But we're not going to go down that road, because I know I would pick Benjamin Sesko any day of the week over Nicholas Jackson. I would pick Ollie Watkins over Nicholas Jackson. I think my priorities at this point would be this, right? I would say Benjamin Sesko, number 1. Number 2 would be Ollie Watkins. Number 3, I would probably say... I guess I'll have to say I'll have to say... I guess I'll have to say Nicholas Jackson as number 3. I'm going to be honest. I would take Nicholas Jackson. I would. Like, if we had no other option and that was the only option and it was a reasonable amount of money and they said, it's Nicholas Jackson or nothing, take it or leave it. I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't take him, because we need a striker. So, yeah, I think it would be stupid of me to say, oh, no, I'm not taking him. I'm not taking him. Like, we need a striker. Obviously, I would rather not have Nicholas Jackson, but we need a striker. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, there's definitely some this is definitely picking up, which is great to see. Somebody saying what's going on with Gyökeres. We're not getting Gyökeres. We're not getting Gyökeres. It's just stupid rumours being put out there. Effectively, what's going on with Gyökeres? Let me explain to you. So, with Gyökeres, the situation is very, very simple. He's going to Arsenal, and they're trying to speed up the deal, and they're speeding up the deal by effectively putting Manchester United's name back into the mix. It's an age-old tactic. People have been doing this for years and years and years and years. We get used, guys. I know it's not nice to hear, but we get used, right? We get used. Our name gets thrown into the mix. And next thing you know, everyone's like, oh, we're signing Gyökeres, we're signing Gyökeres. We're not signing Gyökeres. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, guys. As much as I would love to see Gyökeres at Manchester United, the likelihood of that happening is, in my opinion, I mean, it's not zero, but yeah, it's not zero, but I think it's almost zero. And you might say, you know, what does this guy know? Some Portuguese journalist that no one's ever heard of has said that it's going to happen. And I mean, it's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion. I just think that he wants to join Arsenal. Arsenal want to join him. Arsenal want to sign him. And effectively what's going on here, we're literally at the finish line. Okay, we're at the finish line. But there's still some little murmurs to get over. There's still some, you know, final details that need to be signed. And what does Sporting Lisbon do? They brief the media in Portugal. Go and tell everybody that Manchester United want to sign him again. Okay? And then what happens then? Today we'll get the here we go, Gyökeres to Arsenal. You wait. If Gyökeres signs for Manchester United, I will eat my words and I'll accept I was wrong. But I just think the likelihood of it happening is so small. And it's just a classic tactic. It's a very, very classic tactic. And a prime example that we can look at, right, of how this is kind of backed up. Think a week ago, Manchester United were messing around with Brentford. Okay, they were saying, we'll give you 50 million plus 2 million in add-ons. They say no. We'll give you 55 plus 5 in add-ons. They say no. We'll give you 57. You know, we've been messing around with Brentford for the last 7 weeks. We've been wasting our whole transfer window trying to sign one player. Okay, putting in offers they were never going to accept. Newcastle walk over and say to Brentford, we would like to sign Visser. We'll pay the money. We'll do the deal now. This is all what happened last week. Next thing you know, Manchester United give them what they want. And I'm not saying that the Visser story was made up, so it's not exactly the same example. But the point I'm making is, at the moment, Arsenal don't really have any urgency to sign Gyökeres. They can make sure that they get the best price that they want. The payment terms can be the best they want. You know, they might only want to pay 10 million up front. Like, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And Sporting Lisbon are obviously frustrated and have thought, you know what, let's just put to the media that Manchester United are back in the race. Manchester United are going to submit a bid. And then what happens then? Arsenal give them what they want. So hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully by this evening, Gyökeres is a Manchester United player and I'm sat here looking stupid. But I just don't think it's going to happen. So there you go. That's my opinion for what it's worth. There is a few journalists who've said similar things as well, saying that Manchester United's name's just been kind of thrown into the mix. You know, to speed up the deal, effectively. There's a story here as well, which has caught me by surprise, that apparently Aston Villa want to sign Garnacho. I don't know what to say about that. And apparently Garnacho wants to join Aston Villa. I don't know. I don't really know what to think of that. I mean, it would probably be a good move for him, going to Aston Villa, realistically. Johnny says, has Greenwood been sold? Mate, I've heard nothing about Greenwood, man. Let's have a look. Has Greenwood been sold? Don't think so. I haven't heard anything about Greenwood, no. No is the short answer. Greenwood has not been sold. Yeah, I mean, I imagine... Is it... Well, he's going to Atletico. I've not seen anything about Greenwood to Atletico. Where have you seen this? Let's have a look. I can't see anything about Greenwood joining Atletico Madrid, mate. It just says that they're working the numbers, whatever that means. It says that they're interested. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It says that Atletico Madrid are considering signing Mason Greenwood. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing imminent by the sounds of it. They're just thinking about it, working out how much it's going to cost, looking at the deal, you know. So, I wouldn't get too excited about that one just yet, but, you know, it could well happen potentially. Everyone who's just joined the video, if you could do me a small favour, make sure to drop a like. We've got over 400 people in the room right now. We've only got 90 likes though, so please do like if you are just joining, and make sure to subscribe as well. Yeah, please do subscribe. Right, let's talk about the goalkeeper. So there's some big updates on the new goalkeeper situation. This is coming out from, again, I think this is coming out from Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio's been a busy man this window, hasn't he? I saw some stories saying that apparently Fabrizio Romano has the most views out of any person on X, like by way of his posts. I don't know if that's true, i.e. implying that he makes the most money from adverts. And that's why someone was saying that that's why he does so many posts all the time, you know, like updating something when there's no update, just because, you know, he wants to get the ad revenue. But anyway, I mean, you can't really blame him, to be fair. I would do the same. I think any of us would. Anyway, Fabrizio Romano is reporting this, that Manchester United are strongly considering signing Senne Lammens. He says there are now internal talks undergoing to discuss this deal. I mean, we spoke about this guy a couple of days ago. I did a little bit of research on him and I watched a few videos and stuff, and he does look good. I'm just still not convinced that he's going to push Onana out of the team. But other than that, he looks like an exciting young goalkeeper. 23 years of age. Apparently he has the best save percentage in Europe. Again, though, he is playing in the Belgian league, which I think is probably the level of like League One in England, so not even the Championship. Obviously, there's a couple of teams in the Belgian league that are decent, but like 90% of them are like below average. You know, they're probably League One level in the Premier League. So yeah, I don't know. We need a new goalkeeper. It's as simple as that for me. Whether or not this guy's the right person, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, this is my man, 100%. He's the best option, because I don't know. I just think that's a little bit naive, realistically. I don't think any of us can sit here and say that a goalkeeper who most of us had never heard of until 2 days ago is the best option. You know, we were all looking at people like, you know, some of the options we were looking at were like ter Stegen, Donnarumma, Emi Martinez, like all of these big name goalkeepers, big presence, international goalkeepers. But instead, we're going to go for a young player who, again, might turn out to be really good. He might not. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'll back him. Hopefully he comes in. Hopefully he does well. But yeah, I mean, it's a massive risk, isn't it, realistically? And I don't think he's going to get Onana out of the team. We have a super chat coming in from Ray. Thank you very much, Ray. Ray says, do you think we'll sign a midfielder? Mate, we need a midfielder desperately, mate. Absolutely desperately, man. I think, for me, right, the priority would be a goalkeeper, a striker, and a midfielder. I think Diego Leon could potentially come into the first team next season, so maybe we're okay for the wing-backs. We know that Harry Amas is going to be loaned out, which I think is the correct decision. But yeah, we desperately need to bring in a goalkeeper. We desperately need to bring in a midfielder. And we desperately need to bring in a striker before the window closes. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a mess, isn't it? Well, I say a little bit of a mess. It's going to be a complete mess. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Right. I'm going to wrap up the video here, guys. It feels like a good point to end today's stream. Let me just check there's no other comments to read. Okay, Sonny says, I'm from Antwerp and this is my boyhood club. He says, Lammens has great potential. Antwerp beat Tottenham in the Europa League. Thank you very much. That's interesting to hear. I think we're kind of saying the same thing, though, that he has great potential, definitely. But is he gonna kick Onana out of the team? That's the question. And I don't know the answer to that. You don't know the answer to that. None of us know the answer to that. I'm just, you know, if you sign Emi Martinez, Onana knows that he's gone effectively. If you bring in ter Stegen, Onana knows that he's gone. If you bring in Donnarumma, Onana knows that he's gone. But do you think Onana is going to be sat there thinking, shit, if we sign this guy? Probably not, realistically. So, yeah, we'll see anyway. But anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the video this morning. Please do make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I'll be back. Hopefully there's another story to bring you later, but if not, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching. Speak to you all later. Bye for now.